Manifesting is one of the things that I think often draws people to a spiritual practice. Things like the law of attraction or have what you want by changing your thoughts. So manifesting is really an interesting topic when it comes to our physical experience here in this world. So the first thing that's so important to understand about the universe and how it manifests in our lives is that the universe is super creative and really not overly concerned on the physical stuff in our lives. So if we want a new car or some kind of vehicle, maybe the universe, instead of sending us a vehicle, sends us someone who can take us on some really new thought adventures, or a meditation teacher who can help us travel to different areas of our hearts and of our minds. So the universe can give us a vehicle, but it may not be the one that we park in our garage. Maybe we're looking for abundance. So the universe doesn't always work in currency or dollars and cents. Maybe when we're focusing on abundance, suddenly we have extra free time that opens up so that we can enjoy some creativity or something else that would bring some peace and joy to our heart and mind. So when we're manifesting and focusing on creating experiences in our lives, it's important not to be attached to the form, but to allow ourselves to be sensitive to the feeling. When I'm thinking about manifesting a new job, what's the feeling behind that? Then, when a situation that stirs up that feeling for us comes into our lives, we recognize, oh, I didn't really need to manifest a different job. What I needed to discover was this feeling that I was lacking in some form or fashion in my life. When we can be sensitive to that, and when we start to recognize that, the universe will never cease to delight us and surprise us with how creative manifestation can really be. It's so much more than stuff. It's about spirit and feeling vibrantly alive. And ultimately, when it comes to our material possessions, they wear down. We forget about them because tastes change, or there's a new fad, or something better comes along and catches our eye. So the stuff is transient. It's only temporary. It's just a quick fix. But when we're manifesting based upon the spirit, based upon the true substance, it's delicious, and we feel satisfied in our lives instead of always that longing or that need or that never enough. We truly feel aligned with all of who we are and with the wonders of spirit in our world. So manifesting is truly about creativity, it's about recognition, but most of all, it's about that spirit that we are in this world. So when it comes to an active way of manifesting, I think one of the most important practices is just to be curious and to be open, not to be attached. Because the minute we attach to something or fix our attention just on one thing, we've eliminated everything else. And that really restricts the way that energy naturally and beautifully flows. So look at a rose bush, for example. Every single flower on one bush looks a little different. Some are big, some are large, but they're all a part of this beautiful thing that we call the rose bush. When we try to focus on only one thing that we want to manifest, we miss all the other beautiful expressions of beauty and spirit and wonder that are in the world. So when we are engaging in some kind of manifestation practice, I think the most important thing is to be attuned to what we want, but not attached to it. To be open to the feeling of it, but without trying to limit or control it. To be sensitive to the time and infinitely patient as to when it might happen, and just know that it'll happen exactly when it needs to. When we get impatient, when we get overly attached, when we're trying to control, I need to know how it's going to happen, I need to know when it's going to happen, I need to know where to be so that it will happen, we start to limit ourselves and constrict the energy. When we're open and just know, I know it's going to happen exactly when it needs to, in the way that it needs to, and it will surprise and delight me in ways I cannot even imagine. Then the universe sets in motion and gets to work to provide us with an amazing manifestation experience. So be focused and attentive and attuned but not attached. And that's the easiest and most powerful way that we can manifest in our lives. So when it comes to manifesting and kind of engaging in this consciousness that we can manifest and create in our world, it is important not to be attached, but I do think it's okay to ask the universe to prove itself, or maybe to show its stuff a little bit. So one thing that's really fun that I know a lot of people tend to enjoy and really have amazing results with is things like, okay, well, show me a repeating number and then see what happens. Because these are things we're not attached to and we're curious about, but it brings us a sense of excitement or wonder, or ooh, I wonder if it's going to happen, and then it does. And it is because I'm not going to be happy unless I see 111 on the clock, or I can only see 111 to know if Spirit's real. We're just putting it out there and waiting for it to unfold. So put the universe to test and see what happens. I just want to find a good parking space. And there it is. Because we've allowed it to happen. We've been open and willing to experience it happening. And so when that does, the universe can demonstrate just how responsive it is. The universe shows us that it's listening, that we're powerful, and that it really understands our true intentions. So put it to the test. Put some intentions out there. Show me a sign. Give me some kind of clue that this is real or that this works. And when we do, when we just release that and allow that to unfold, it is truly inspiring, and it gets us hooked into understanding that there's more to this spirit than just woo-woo stuff. It's powerful and it's real, even in our physical world. So test it out. Ask for some signs and just let Spirit manifest some pretty amazing things for you. Anyone can manifest. And here's what happens. People who are good at manifesting compared to people who seem to struggle with manifesting is the allowing of it. So many times I work with people who say, well, I want to manifest this job, but I don't think I can. Or I'd like to experience this relationship, but I've never succeeded in the past. So we put it out there and then we take it right back in. And that stops us from accomplishing and accepting and manifesting what we want. People who have an easier time with manifesting don't question it. Yeah, universe, I know you'll send it when it's time, and I know I'll recognize it in the way it comes. And then there's no limits, there's no restrictions, and then there it is. So if you're struggling with manifesting, I would really encourage you to take a step back and really realize you're worthy of everything you want, of everything you want. No limits, no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want it, the universe wants it for you. So that's the most important thing to remember when it comes to manifesting, if we're feeling challenged or struggling with it. Take a step back, let the universe do its work, because you are worthy. The universe loves you and wants you to have everything you want.